All right, thanks, Miranda. As Russia continues to stage forces in Syria, the United States is obviously getting nervous about their presence there and what it might mean. Now there are new reports about Russian troops deployed to Syria. The ground forces are participating in a military operation to support Syrian government troops, who, by the way, have used chemical weapons on their own people. For more on what Putin is planning, we're joined now by a regular to this program, Todd Wood, also a correspondent for the Washington Times and for Newsmax. Todd, good to see you again.
Great to be here, John. Thanks.
All right, Putin doesn't do much without some sort of motive behind it. To what end is Russia increasing its presence in Syria?
Well, you have to realize that Syria is an ally, a longtime ally of Russia. Russia has a port in Tartus, or a base in the Syrian port of Tartus, where it's not that big, but it does allow them to resupply and to have a foothold in the Mediterranean. And there's no way Russia's going to let that go. So that's why one reason they're keeping Assad in power, and the other reason is he's just been a good friend to them for a long period of time, so there's no reason for them to stop that relationship. The other reason is that America has withdrawn basically from the region in a large way, and Russia's stepping into the power vacuum, if you will.
Well, the reports of U.S. concerns on interference in its mission against ISIS, obviously working there in that same theater, is that an unintended consequence of both powers being in Syria, or do you think Putin would intentionally derail the U.S. in their efforts there?
Well, I don't think Putin cares that we're trying to defeat ISIS. I don't think he believes we're really serious about it. But ISIS is a threat to Russia. They're really concerned about the Caucasus region, Caucasus, where ISIS has already declared a presence there. And that's one thing Russia is really concerned about. So I do believe they are there to help at least prevent ISIS from moving up into Russia. So in that sense, they're aligned with us in that agenda.
All right, well, let's bring Miranda back in now. She wanted to follow up with you, Todd, about a question. She just mentioned that submarine that Russia's
we were talking about that submarine. New reports out that Russia's building this drone submarine that can launch nukes. For a country that its economy is, let's say, I would say it's fair enough, pretty bad shape. Russia appears to be acting aggressively. Is this a sign of desperation, and how concerned should we be of weapons like this?
Very concerned. You know, Putin is using America as his foil. It keeps the attention off what's going on inside Russia, as you said, with a bad economy, with people not getting enough medical care. You know, they're shutting down hospitals. They just don't have the money for the social services right now. You know, so they want an enemy, and Putin has given them America, and he's serious about nuclear weapons. You know, it's their ace in their hole. It's part of their army they have modernized, but the majority of the Russian armed forces are not that capable. And nuclear weapons are really their trump card, if you will. So I think he will continue to be aggressive. And yes, it's something we really should worry about probably for the next 10 or 20 years until there is some type of regime change in Russia.
Yeah, you know, one of the ironies of this situation, we're talking about the Iranian nuclear deal, but we have not kind of held Russia up to their end of the deal when it comes to our nuclear negotiations with them in the past. And, you know, going back all the way to Afghanistan, we have backed these Saudi-backed terrorists. They have backed the Iranian-backed terrorists, and it's always been a proxy war, and here we are. The situation continues, and a lot of folks say it's not going to get any better until we deal with Russia directly. So we might have to deal with them sooner than later. Todd, always great to see you. Thanks so much.
Thank you. Take care.